Okay, so let's get right into it. A gospel transition statement. So when you master a gospel transition statement, you'll have the ability to transition into a gospel conversation with 2 to 3 sentences. So in 20 seconds, you can go from someone complaining about their problem to you sharing the gospel. And this is how you do it. Here's the basic format. You acknowledge or empathize. That's the first step. Then after that, you can say something along the lines of something that I learned that's helped me is, and then you put it back on them by saying, have you, and I'm going to give you specific examples to put that into context. But remember, when you're sharing the gospel, people don't care about you. People don't care about how good your marriage is. People don't want to hear you brag about how blessed you've been and how you never lacked. People want to know how, people want to talk about themselves, but people want to know, how can I get that same result? So, for instance, someone that I ran into from high school, he said, I'm just trying to, something along the lines of, I asked him how he been. Oh, I'm just trying to make it, trying to get to the next level or something along those lines. So the perfect way to respond to something like that is, I definitely understand. I feel that. Not too long ago, I felt like I was running in circles, doing the same thing over and over again, but not getting the results. And then the next thing is something that I have learned. Something that I learned is I can't do it without God. And when I learn how to partner with God, everything that I do works. What's your relationship with Jesus like? That's simple. You see how easy that was, but do you see how desirous I made that? So I told him, I definitely understand. It seemed like I was working and couldn't get ahead. But something that I learned taught me to partner with God. So now everything I do works. A person that's forcing his way, trying to get ahead, wants things to be easy. So what if I knew a way, which I do, the gospel, Jesus. What if I knew a way, and something I've experienced was I found a way to make everything you do work? What's your relationship with Jesus like? So now it's not just a religious, oh, they're coming to beat me over the head with the Bible. It's a, oh my gosh, if I can get stuff right with Jesus, then all the labor I'm putting in can start to work. It's that simple. It's that simple. And I can give you other examples. Let me see if I could find another example. I wish this was a live feed so you guys can just give out problems. But in the Discovery Bible Study, we actually teach this. So we have a time where people split up into groups and they literally go with a partner, and their partner comes up with any problem. So how about this example? My relationship is terrible. My marriage isn't working. My wife is always nagging. We're always fighting about something. I'm so tired of it. Even though I'm not married, watch this. I definitely understand that I couldn't imagine coming home to a house without peace. Something I learned that gives me peace in the midst of chaos is trusting and relying on God with everything, and learning how to pray and be thankful. What's your relationship with Jesus like? It's that simple. So I'm telling them, even though I'm not in a marriage, and I'm definitely not in a bad one, but I can still relate because what he's lacking is peace. It's that simple. So in 3 sentences, I transitioned his problem into an opportunity to share the gospel. And watch this, he's gonna be open because he wants a solution to his problem. Remember, there's no one without a problem. There's no one with a problem that doesn't want a solution. So this is so simple and it's so easy, but this is something that has to be practiced and practiced and practiced until you gain mastery, to where in a regular conversation, someone articulates a problem and boom, you're transitioning without thinking. And this will give you so much more opportunities to share the gospel, along with making it just a natural part of your life. It's great to go out and evangelize, but what happens when you're not able to do that? You should still be finding ways to share the gospel. So I believe that this was extremely practical, and I believe that you're now equipped with the wisdom to effectively win souls. Now you just have to exercise it. Write down 10 problems, 20 problems, 30 problems, and start practicing your gospel transition statement. Find a friend that wants to learn how to share the gospel and have them come up with a problem, and you have to transition the gospel. Remember, practice makes perfect. The more you practice and the more you prepare, the easier it'll be when you actually get in that position. So definitely do that, and I guarantee you'll start to notice so many opportunities to share the gospel is not going to make sense. So thank you so much for tuning in. The next one is going to be about discipleship and how to go from winning souls to effectively maturing a believer. And remember, if you can read, you can do this process. You don't have to be saved for 10 years, 5 years, 1 year, or even one day. If as soon as you get saved, you'll be able to do this process, because that's the simplicity of it. The word in Acts talks about disciples multiply greatly. So disciples multiply. They don't multiply because they have to go through a 20-step process, but before they can share with others and bring others under the same thing, they multiply because the Spirit and the Word is reliable. And there's a specific system, if you're going through discipleship, that you can use to replicate over and over and over again with very little training. Really no training. If you had the framework, if I were to give you the document right now, you could bring someone that just got saved through it. So we're gonna get to that in the next in the next video. So stay tuned and go forth and win souls.